Hello, Steve Holmes at Charm Sciences. This video will review the procedures of how to clean the Charm Easy Reader and the Easy M Reader.
The different tools you'll need to clean the Easy Reader are some cotton swabs, some alcohol wipes, a pair of tweezers, an X-Acto knife or some sharp tool to help remove an adhesive label, and the Allen wrenches that come with the Easy Reader, which is a 1/16 Allen wrench and a 9/64 Allen wrench. So to clean the Easy Reader, the first thing you will do is use the larger 9/64 Allen key, and you will use the smaller 1/16 Allen key to remove the slide mechanism. To remove the slide mechanism from the Easy Reader, use the small 1/16 Allen key, and the small set screw here you will unscrew to remove the slide from the reader. Unscrew the screw. It does not have to be removed completely. Remove the screw partially halfway from the bottom slide device, and that will allow the whole slide to be taken off of the reader. The next step, what you can do is you can inspect the optical area of the reader. If that is dirty or shows specks of dried milk or contamination, we can use one of the provided alcohol wipes and clean off the lens. Remove the alcohol wipe from the packaging and gently clean the face of the internal optics of the Easy Reader. Take the swab and gently go back and forth to clean any residual dried milk or debris that is on the lens. You can apply slight pressure, being careful not to press too hard in this optical area. One thing we want to make sure we do is remove any remaining liquid or alcohol that is left on the slide. You can use a Kim wipe or some other sort of lint-free cloth to dry off this optical area. That way there's no streaks and there's no remaining alcohol left on the lens. The next thing we will do is we will remove the top cover of the slide assembly using the larger 9/64 inch Allen key. Using the key, loosen and remove the two screws at the back of the slide holder. And gently open the slide in half. You will see a small white plastic horseshoe-shaped device. Save that, as we will have to replace that when we reassemble the slide. At this point, you can see the top lid or cover of the Easy Reader slide. Here you can see any dried milk or remaining debris, and you can also see the bottom half of the slide assembly, where you can also see any dried milk or debris on the top half of the slide and also on the bottom half of the slide where these windows are. Again, if contamination or debris is shown, use one of the supplied alcohol wipes to gently clean both the top cover and the bottom slide, removing any milk or debris shown. Remember, after cleaning, always use a dry tissue to make sure there's no remaining alcohol or residue left on the slides. In the case of the bottom slide, what we want to do is try to be as careful as possible not to damage the plastic lens cover. So during cleaning, again, apply pressure to clean around the lens and inside this whole slide area as best you can, making sure to remove any dirt or milk that's present, and also clean the back piece here where the reader will look for line development or where the color sensor is on the bottom half of the slide. Again, always remember to use a dry, lint-free cloth to dry any remaining alcohol from the slide. When you're done, the whole slide assembly should look very clean, and there should be no streaks or any contamination that's shown on the lens here. If this lens is still dirty, or there's a indication of scratches or other rough marks on the plastic, what we will show you next in this video is how to remove and replace that lens. The other part of the Easy Reader cleaning kit is what we call a removable or replaceable optical window or lens. That's this plastic piece here that's shown that has the brown label that we're going to peel off and the blue protective coating that will also be peeled off when it's replaced on the Easy Reader slide. This next part of the video will show you on the bottom half of the Easy slide assembly is if this optical plastic lens or window is scratched or damaged in way, we will show you how to replace this. To replace this optical window, turn the slide over to expose the bottom, and using a cotton swab, using the rough end of the swab, gently push against the plastic in this small top window and also push in this bottom window. And what will happen is you will remove the plastic lens. It will sometimes break, and then what you can do is you can use an X-Acto knife or a small sharp tool to remove the remaining plastic that's left in the slide assembly. So what we want to do is remove any remaining pieces of this slide before we replace it with the new one. So once all the last remaining pieces of the slide have been removed, what we want to do is again take an alcohol wipe and clean this internal area where the new window will be replaced. So take another alcohol wipe and again clean this interior area as best you can. The alcohol will help remove any of the adhesive left over from the old window. And again, remove any traces of liquid. You can use the swab now and dry this, or what you can do is use one of the Kim wipes to remove any of the liquid that's remaining from the alcohol. Here there's a small piece of alcohol wipe left, so we will remove that. And again, dry this interior area where the new lens will be added. The new lens has two sides. There's a blue side, and then there's a side where there's 3 areas of tape or covering that you will remove. And these areas are where there's adhesive, which is going to allow this new window to stick onto the bottom slide assembly. So using a pair of tweezers, you can grasp the lens very carefully in the middle, and using a pair of an X-Acto knife or another sharp object, gently remove the coverings at the end of the window. And if you have to touch it with your fingers, that's okay. We just want to make sure at the end that we clean this and remove any traces of fingerprints. And this last window in the middle will be a little tricky to remove. So what we want to do is gently holding the lens by its side, and at an angle, take the knife and gently remove that last piece of adhesive. The area that we removed exposes the adhesive. So we have a larger area in the middle and then a smaller area at each end. This top area has a smaller window, and we're going to put that here on bottom slide. So taking the slide and the lens that we just removed the adhesive coverings from, you want to gently insert the slide cover into the very top opening and press down into that opening. And again, you can use one of the cotton swabs provided to gently press that into the opening. And using the cotton end of a swab, press in the middle area where the adhesive is, at the very top and at the very bottom. This will make sure that that adhesive adheres to the plastic of the slide and the new window is also in place. The last step that we want to do is remove this blue protective film from the window. So again, taking a sharp object or an X-Acto knife, at the very bottom of the slide, peel back the blue film and once it's peeled back, you can use a pair of tweezers and remove the film completely from the lens. When you're done, you will see a clear lens, again making sure that the adhesives are nice and tight. And if you see any fingerprints or any other dirt from your hands as you're replacing the lens, take another one of those alcohol wipes and clean that window lens area completely. What we want to do is make sure this lens is very clean and there's no residues from fingers or anything else from the replacement process. Again, make sure there's no wet alcohol remaining on the slide once you clean it. So using a cotton swab, dry off any last remaining alcohol residue from the slide. You can hold it up in front of a light and make sure that there's no remaining dirt or debris on that slide. Once complete, what we will do is reassemble the whole device. So to reassemble the Easy Slide, what we will do is take the top half or the hinged portion of the slide assembly, take the white horseshoe, place that into the opening, and the easiest thing to do is place the bottom slide upside down on top of the top hinged piece. Flip this over, and then you can take the two screws that we removed and screw those back into place. Do not tighten them completely. What we want to do is make sure that when we operate the hinge, so if we open and close the hinge, it's a nice smooth operation and it's not misaligned anyway. Once you have it aligned properly, tighten these top two screws. Take the Easy Reader, slide the whole lens assembly into the reader, push it back as far as it will go, and using that smaller 1/16 inch Allen wrench, screw back or screw down that set screw. Screw it down slightly below the face of the plastic and make sure that the slide is firmly and securely in place. That concludes the instructions of how to clean and replace the optical lens or window in the Charm Easy Reader.